Hi guys, I want you to, this is a video I said I'd make for you, and so here we go, and I want you to take a watch and listen.
It was like, yeah, we put the responsibility of caretaking onto women, and then we guilt trip daughters into taking care of their parents. That is so telling for why a lot of men have children. It's so someone else will have to take care of them when they're older.
Isn't it so funny how fathers get so shocked when you won't tolerate the same disrespect they put their wives through? Like, I'm not your wife, sir, and I'm definitely not one of your little friends, and you made that clear. Like, that was the woman you chose. I was the woman that was given to you. Do you see how karma worked? No, but actually, like, these men, they'll be the first men that let you down. They'll be your first ever fucking bullies, and then they get so shocked when you don't tolerate their disrespect. Bro, who do you think I learned this behavior from? Bro, I always say this, but it's like the silver lining to my childhood was that I'm not afraid to fight a man.
So as some of you know, I do not talk to my parents like that no more. Well, I talk to my mom a little bit, but they don't have access to me like that. So the other day, my father texted me. Actually, he called me, I looked at that phone, I was like, okay, and then he
Oh, sorry, hold on. Sorry, hold on. Oh, shoot. Okay. She's talking super soft, so I don't know if y'all can hear.
Actually, he called me, I looked at that phone, I was like, okay, and then he texted me. And I was like, I can respond to a text. I feel like I'm in control in that. And he was like, oh, you're staying away from me. You know I'm getting old. What if I die? Will you have any regrets? I was like, no. I have made peace with the fact that you will be gone. And that's okay with me. And then I was like, it sounds like you have some regrets in how you have treated your kids. And he was like, well, I'm the father, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. You wanted to be the father. This is the type of father you are. This is how you will be treated. All that to say, yeah, the audacity.
So it was actually my parents' 44th wedding anniversary on Friday, and I said to my father before that he better hope he dies before my mom does, because I am not going to tolerate his shit the same way that she. And if he thinks that my brother is going to be the one that takes care of him when he's old, he's got another thing coming. He'll be lucky if my brother remembers he exists, let alone takes care of him. So, yeah, I'm not going to tolerate the same shit my mother did. So he better hope he goes first.
Let me tell you something. The reason why I be telling y'all not to trip about these men and whatnot is because I work in the healthcare field. I've been in the healthcare field since I was 18 years old. They're dying alone. They're dying alone. The women that's in these places, their daughters are coming and bringing them to the nail shops, getting their hair done, coming to see them. Their daughters are coming to see them every 2 weeks. You better ask somebody. I am the one who is right there when some of these men are taking their last breath. I have cleaned so many dead bodies, and guess what? Nobody showed up for them. Not their kids, not their wives, not their grandkids. Nobody came for them because why? They were not good men while they were alive. They're gonna continue dying alone. That's why I tell y'all don't trip. I'm physically seeing it on a daily basis, watching them all go by themselves. And this is their grandpas that they're talking about. These are the men that they're talking about. This is their grandpas that's dying alone. And it's going to be them. That's just the reality of. That's why I don't be worried about these men talking, because, baby, I watch y'all every day. Go by yourselves with nobody on your side.
There you go.
Girl, and let's not forget that their sons are never there. It is primarily the daughters, daughter-in-laws. The daughter-in-laws are bringing their husbands. Those are the people that are coming to these people, and they're coming to the mothers. That's why when men be talking, I be like, how the fuck you know? How do you know that a woman is dying alone? Because I don't see none of y'all up there. How do you really know who's dying alone? You know who I know who is dying alone? Men, because I work in that field. None of you work in that field, and then y'all want to be like, y'all are going to die alone. That's why I be laughing. That's why when women get in their feelings, I'm like, do not worry your pretty little head. I don't please, watch my videos. When have you heard me trip about a man? I don't trip about men. I work in this field long enough to know what goes down in the motherfucking end. I don't spew on here that you should treat people well for just the sake of treating people well. I live by that shit because I know one day we're going to have to die. And I would rather want somebody on my side. I know for a fact I don't want to die alone. And I want at least somebody to be on my team. And the fact that most of y'all won't get that shit, I love that for y'all. I love that for all of y'all. Because just as much shit that y'all talk today is as much shit as those men talked in their days. And when I sat right next to them, sometimes even taking their last little breath, they regretted everything they did in this life. But that's what they did. And they gonna have to live with that. And I love that for y'all.
When daughters of narcissistic fathers look into their daddy's eyes and try to be seen, they are not seen. What they see back is a reflection of the value of that father. And because so many fathers and narcissism is so clearly rooted in a more patriarchal view, meaning that women have no value, that even though they might love their daughters, they don't see their daughters as worthy human beings. At the core, their daughters are a reflection of them. And so the daughter looks to the father's eyes to be seen, and all she will see back is what he values in her, and only if she is successful in what he values. For example, if he sees you as a successful student or athlete, you are then worthy and valuable, and he will show up and root for you and support you. But if you are not those things, or you didn't do so well, or those weren't on your heart's desire, he will look at you, and the reflection that you will see is disappointment in what you are not. So many women, I believe, are chasing this value that they never got in their father's eyes, that they want to be reflected back in themselves. And so they seek it in many, many, many ways, from external rewards to self-harm, whatever it is, self-sacrifice in their bodies and their relationships, because in every relationship they're looking to see themselves mirrored back and valued in the way that their father should have, and in the way that they deserved to be valued. Now, whether that father is narcissistic and occasionally around, or in the home every day, or makes guest appearances, or never was there, if there is a hole in the wound of the father, and the father's value is only about a reflection of value when he sees you doing what he wants you to do, you can never succeed at finding value until you begin to turn inward and stop seeking it in the reflection of a father's eyes.
So, that's deep. That's deep. That's really deep. But from the moment I saw that, I wanted you all to see it because, wow. So I think it's ironic. There's so much to say about those videos. I think it's ironic that the same thing that men spew out of their mouth, you're going to die alone, you're going to die alone. There were 2 women that worked in the medical field that saw men die alone. A lot of men die by themselves because they have their egos to appease. Many of them are narcissists. Many of them are egotistical. Many of them ignore their partners because they don't care. And then they gaslight us to make us believe that we're going to die alone, when in reality, these women work in the medical field and they watch you all, men, take your last breath, and you deserve to be alone, because when you had 3 people your whole life, me, myself, and I, well, that's who you're going to have when you die, bro, and that's what you get. No one's going to feel bad for you. No one's going to feel sad for you. You spun a tornado of poison everywhere you went. You poisoned everybody you came in contact with. You poisoned your partners, your children, your grandchildren. You poisoned everybody. So at the very end, nobody wants to be around your ass. And if they do come around, they're going to come around to make sure you're dead. Okay? I'm not going to go see if Tom is dead, because I'd have to spend my money traveling long distance, and he ain't worth it. Okay? He's not worth it. He is a malignant narcissist, and, you know, narcissistic men don't want the responsibility of preventing pregnancy, but it really falls on the woman to prevent it, because he could knock you up and skip down the road, which is exactly what he eventually did. However, I saw them, the parents, I saw them argue, heard them fighting all night long. He had lipstick on his collar because he was clubbing all night, and he had lipstick on his collar, and he had women's perfume on his body, which means obviously you cuddled up to somebody or doing a little bit more than cuddle up. All he cared about was satisfying his own needs. And I remember as a kid, at the time, he seemed like the more normal of the two parents. And then as I became an adult and realized, I saw his behavior get progressively worse and worse and worse and worse, which is what they do as they get older. They do get worse. And I remember as a kid thinking he was the better of the two, and it must have been serious denial on my part, because I cannot begin to tell you how many times, way after they got divorced, and, you know, he was supposed to get us every other weekend or whatever the case is. And I was so eager to get away from the wicked witch, the mother. I was so eager to get away from her. I had my suitcase packed and I'm ready to go to my dad because I just thought he was the bomb. Because you're a kid and you're dumb. You don't know what narcissism is. Not dumb, but you just don't know. You're a kid. You don't know. Had my suitcase packed. And at the last minute, he'd cancel because something came up. That something was his pecker because he found another piece of ass for the weekend. Because he was a hoe bag. He was always a hoe bag. He's been married 3 times. He's married to the 3rd bitch. She's an alcoholic. Okay? He's got significant mental illness. And he's a severe narcissist slash cheater slash woman abuser. Okay? He held a gun to the mother before. He beat her up when she was pregnant with my brother. Okay? You're a scumbag. That's what you are. You're a fucking scumbag. And I will never... There was a point in my life when I was still in denial about how horrible he actually is. And the older I became, the wiser I became. And I realized that I will never, ever... I'm telling you. I will never take care of my parents when they're ill. Your ass is going in a nursing home. Period. Your ass is going in a nursing home. That's the way it's going to be. You're a horrible person. You've always been a horrible person. So, no, I'm not going to take care of you. If something happens to your bitch, you're going in a nursing home. Or if she can't take care of you, or she don't want to take care of you no more, you're going in a nursing home. Period. It's not up for discussion. Okay? I've been to comprehensive therapy behind him and his shit, and her shit, and I have zero empathy for either one of them. And as far as I'm concerned, they can both go in a nursing home and be roommates and drive each other literally insane until they take their last breath, which is fine for me, and I would laugh. Y'all both deserve that. Stick them 2 fools in the same room together in a nursing home, because they need to suffer any damn way. All the evil that they've spun. And the mother also has multiple, she's got like lupus and Parkinson's disease. Your ass is going to end up in a nursing home. Okay? That's what's going to happen to you. And you know better than to ask me for anything. You know better. You already know how I feel about you. So, both of y'all fools, when you cannot live on your own anymore, both of y'all, and like I said, put their asses in the same room together so they can get their just desserts, and I could sit back and eat popcorn. You know? I think these women are brave to not put up with their father's bullshit. I think they're smart to cut their fathers off. We don't owe you shit. I think you should take excellent care of your parents as long as your parents took excellent care of you. But if they were abusive and nasty and hateful and narcissistic and they beat you for no damn reason other than they are sadistic, which is what happened to me, what goes around comes around. You spin hatred comes back and hits you in the face, and you will pay for what you've done. God don't like ugly. And there were things that he's done to me that I mentioned in therapy, and it about killed me to talk about it, because when someone is abusive to you, you feel shame and embarrassment. That needs to be the other way around. The person who's doing that to you should be ashamed and embarrassed, but they don't have enough sense to be ashamed and embarrassed by their own behavior. They don't have any sense. The vicious beatings from both of them, and he's got the strength of a man, so he's using all of his strength to beat the hell out of me for no real reason other than he felt like it. I wasn't a bad kid. I knew better than to be a bad kid, because you got two psychotic parents. You're not gonna, no. You're gonna fly straight. Unless you just have a death wish. And I didn't. So, yeah. He put me in the corner all the time. And he made me undress so he could beat me. And here I am with very little clothes on. And my body's developing like a, you know, like a young lady's body would develop, breasts and everything. And he's inflicting pain on me at the same time he's looking at my body. So that has an element of S&M to it. And the shame of that, I buried that for, oh God, a long time. Many years. Because you have this idea that when I tell my therapist, she's going to pass out and fall to the floor because she's probably never heard this before. Oh, yes, she has. She's not only heard that before, but she's heard worse. So there isn't really much that you're going to say to her to make her go, oh. I mean, it doesn't work like that. She's heard it, that and worse. So, no, it's, you know. There's another thing he did, and I never talked about this publicly. This will be the first time I'm mentioning it. I mentioned it to my therapist. And it was terrible. My face got hot, and I felt like my face was red, and I couldn't look at her, and because I kept it pushed down so deep. I pushed it so deep. I pushed it all the way to my toes, and I kept it down there until I mentioned it in therapy. And I've been in therapy before, and I never told them. And I finally told one of them, and she didn't flip out, which is like totally great. It's a sense of relief. But he used to put me in the corner, take a roll of toilet paper with the toilet paper on it, shove it in my mouth like a ball gag in a way, and tape it around my neck or something. He taped it to where it would stay in place. And because you have this toilet paper roll shoved in your mouth, you can't swallow. So since you can't swallow, your saliva is all over the toilet paper, and it's getting soggy and gross because you can't swallow. To say this without bawling my eyes out is very hard. But like I said, I stifled it for many years, and I never told my therapist. And then people say stupid shit when you don't know the intricate details. They say stupid shit like, well, yeah, I know you've been through a lot, but those are your parents. You know what? I don't give a fuck who they are. I will never be there for you. Never, ever be there for you. That's it. You were the epitome of evil. You treated me as nurturing, loving parents who are supposed to be nurturing and loving. You treated me like somebody who would just kidnap me off the street. A gag in the mouth, standing in the corner, being tortured, beaten. That's something you would get from somebody who's like a serial killer or a serial sexual assault person. You know, someone who does that to people. You never in your wildest dreams imagine that happens in your house. No, you bastard, I don't owe you shit. And I feel the same way for her. I left a message on her machine years and years ago. I said, you're a psychotic bitch, and when you die, thank you, Jesus. Those were my identical words to her. I have nothing. I have no feelings for you. I don't really have hatred towards you. I feel nothing. I feel nothing. Because of your actions, you and her screwing, I was the result. I didn't ask to be here. I didn't ask to be here. And I damn sure didn't ask to be, you know, to resent being here. I'm better now. Like I said, I've been back and forth to therapy, and I've done, you know, I've had exceptional therapists. But if sometimes it seems like people need to know the gory details so that they could go, oh, I understand now. Oh, because when they don't know the details, but they know you were abused, they're like, well, yeah, but the yeah, but syndrome. They're your parents. I don't give a shit who they are. I don't give a shit who you are. You treated me horribly. Okay? You treated me horribly. She has washed my mouth out with soap before, and I'm here to tell you, soap smells good. It don't taste nearly as bad as it don't taste as good as it smells. Okay? She's put hot sauce in my mouth before for no reason. She would make me put my hands out, both my hands, and she would beat them with a wooden spoon until she got tired. She'd beat me with a belt until she got tired. Vicious beating for no reason. I remember getting a beating because I missed the school bus. And I rode my bike to school trying to be responsible, getting to school anyway, and I got beat for that. And she deliberately burned me with an iron. I talked about that too on my videos. This scar right here is shaped like an iron. Okay, because that was, let me see, that was the tip. So she hit me like this with the iron. So the tip is this triangular shape right here. And there's a scar here, right here. All that's from being burned with an iron. And when I talked to her about that, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, I couldn't even begin to tell you all the shit I went through with them. I couldn't even tell you everything I've been through with them. I could just tell you, like, the things that I remember. But there's so much. She deliberately burned me with the iron, and then she said, when I mentioned it to her, like, several years ago, I said, do you remember burning me with the iron? The weird part is I wasn't even going to talk about that. I never burned you with an iron. Would you like me to send you the scars? Pictures of the scars? And she wanted to hang up on me. Of course you want to hang up on me because you want to gaslight me into believing that what you did to me didn't happen. Well, that would be okay if I wasn't there, but since I was there and the scars are here, nice try. Okay? Let's see. This is the arm that has the puncture holes. 2 holes right there. And puncture holes, let's see, right here, this hole and that hole, okay, from being stabbed by my brother while she was in the other room pretending she didn't know what was going on. Nobody is going to tell me that I owe them anything, and if you try that, you're wasting your breath and you're wasting your time. I don't owe them shit. Now, if your parents were warm, kind, loving, and supportive, and they protected you, that's a different story. You should take care of them when you have the ability to do so. But when you had Cruella de Vil as a mother, and you had Satan himself, or Satan's helper, as a father, I don't owe you shit. Okay? Let me tell you this quick story, and then I'm going to go. Oh, shit. All right. Long story short, guy treated his wife with no respect at all. And that he did what he wanted when he wanted, left the house when he wanted, didn't give a rat's ass, okay, to your needs. And then at the very end, he was dying of cancer. She didn't care. She was completely detached from it. You know why? Because he didn't give a shit about her needs through the entire marriage. And you expect her to boo-hoo because you're dying of cancer? You gotta be kidding me. The doctor was trying to get them closer together. You know, your husband's dying and he's got a time limit and da-da-da-da-da. And she's like this in a chair with her arms folded like, okay, and? I'd be the same way. You never loved me a day in your raggedy life and you expect me to feel sorry for you because you're dying of cancer? You must be out of your mind. You must be out of your freaking mind. A lot of people are going to die alone. A lot of men are going to die alone. And unless you fly straight and get your stupid ass in therapy, you're going to get everything that you deserve and more. Okay? Think about that. Y'all take care. Much love. Talk to you later. Bye.